right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing this morning? We have normal market today with market gapping down about 2.5%. That's pretty normal for these days. Gap up a couple, gap down a couple. Rally on bad news, drop on no news. Just to kind of piss you off. Alright, so it dropped overnight. Volume's not really that much. Hold on a second here. Alright guys, hold on a second, I'll be right back. Sorry, trying to get my other setup here ready to make trades if I need to. So I have to stop the stream to do the trades. Alright, so market dropping a little bit here. So today's our first day we have eligible for a follow-through day. And I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Not that day 4 always is the follow-through day. It's obviously not the case, but day 4 is a day to be looking, obviously. Excuse me here. Okay. Get to this chart. Go to my stocks. These must all be yesterday's prices. All right, market opens in a few minutes. Looks like so far we're trying to rally a little bit off of the lows. The Qs are getting bullish right there. Good morning, Anil. Yeah, I think I don't know, after yesterday's action, I'm not really in the bear camp. Definitely more in the bullish camp, willing to kind of wait it out. Hearing some more stuff about COVID yesterday. More stuff on General Radio. Morning, Rob. More stuff on General Radio about how it's kind of benign. It's a little less deadly in the U.S., so market being forward-looking. Yesterday, I think that was the result of yesterday. Now, that being said, this is still just our second bounce in this whole bear market. Right here and right here. So we could be seeing lower prices, but we'll have to see what the Boris Johnson got COVID? Okay, I gotta look that up. Look at the dudes. Testing positive for COVID-19. That is hilarious. And the guy's not going to die or anything, so it's funny. 55. Oh, I guess that puts him in a higher risk group, but he'll be all right. That's funny. Let's just look at the Qs right now. We'll start with the Qs today. All right, looks like market is open. MJs are still, oh, that's not ACBs and MJ, TZY is not. Tilray's up 10%. What's down today? Looks like everything else. Kiwi, Carvana, Pays, Space, Tesla down 5%. Nice. See what happens with the Qs here. Oil down equals SCO up. Is it still down in IL? I mean oil. Let's take a look at SCO. Oh, wow. Boom. Nice, dog. Making some money. Good, good. Yeah, right. Figure it out, ride it out, close half, do something. But your Tesla got cheaper today, too. About 5%, which is pretty good. Excuse me. And close half this morning. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think there's a need to be greedy. I mean, not that you're being greedy. I don't think you are. Where am I going here? All right, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this list. See what's down today. Oh, this is a nice red screen's a nice friendly reminder of the way the markets used to be. Royal Caribbean down 10%. Let's see if this is maybe the start of a little leg lower, and we'll see if we can hold the lows. Play down 10%. Planet Fitness down 10%. So not too bad. Zoom up 6%. You can see here on the daily chart forming a small little base. Maybe going back to the other half of the market. There seems to be haves and have-nots, and not too many haves at the moment. Past couple days you've had quite a few haves, and today they're all have-nots. So Tesla down, work looks like stopped here at all-time highs. Or not all-time highs, but I guess recent highs before the crash. All the way back is pretty impressive. Adobe down 4%, still within kind of general choppy territory. The Qs are opening lower, still within yesterday's bar range, which is not an unhealthy thing. It's not unhealthy action right there. Doesn't mean we're bearish just because we gap down. Tesla bouncing back. Not too much, still a large gap, but it's bouncing back at least from this initial dip this morning. See right there. Gap down into the 500s and bounced right back. We'll see how that goes. 226, market kind of fighting, basically fighting right there. And looks like, yeah, so far we're trying to find a range here. An opening range. You can see on the overnight we've got a series of highs here as resistance points. We'll see if we can clear some of that or not. So far, failure to go lower here. Excuse me. All right. That candle closed. That's the first 5 minutes of the market. So that's our initial range. We'll see which way we're going to break into that. Or out of that. Where's my other... Oh, it's right here. Sorry, my mind's all over the place right now. All right, so United Airlines down 7. I think everything was pretty good down month. Everything was down pretty good last month, Rob. United Airlines, red day yesterday. And then today looks like another red day of 7%. So maybe we just kind of wait and see what the market's going to do. We've had our up move. Let's see if it's going to continue. We talked about going sideways for a little bit. Maybe this will be the start of that. But sideways in terms of market these days is a pretty wide range. Visa down 4%. Looks like stalling at prior resistance / support level. Support becomes resistance. Resistance becomes support. So we stalled down on that yesterday. Closed a little bit above it just to piss people off. INMT. Is that everything for INMD? Wow. Yeah, we haven't looked at this name in a long time. I remember the good old days when we were up here trying to get out of this falling wedge. Had a small trade right there, but never really transpired into anything. All the way back down to the IPO price and back up. So, yeah, I guess maybe another leg up. It looks like it's going to go with the rest of the market. Sell off yesterday here, but you can see in United Airlines and some of these other ones. Yesterday, we didn't get much buying stepping in. We kind of stalled out. So after the good news of yesterday, maybe could have brought some people back into the market, and then maybe now we're just going to start heading lower, testing how low we can go, and then we'll see where we can bottom out. We mentioned layering into TQQQ positions. Also, today is the first day we're eligible for a follow-through day. So I think that's going to be on the forefront of my mind. We do have low-ish volumes. I say ish because if you look compared to where we were, at least on these Qs. Now, I do believe Investors Business Daily. I know it takes its cues from the NASDAQ. But I'm not sure we have great charts just for the NASDAQ with volume. NASDAQ composite. See if it gives us volume. Gives us this garbage chart. Yes, I get it about your stupid cookies taking up a third of the page. See no volume though. Yeah, see no volume. So I'm not sure how IBD gets its volume. So I have to just go look at the IBD charts, I guess, just to make sure we're in sync. Alright, so volume yesterday, with a very big day, volume was well below recent averages, you can see here. Well below recent averages. But it has been able to rally nonetheless. Yeah, it could just be a dead cat bounce. So if you did level into TQs down here, you're good. At least for now. Marketing correction. Obviously know what big picture is going to say. Alright, so let's see what CNBC has to say. Yeah, right, Rob. Morning, Eli. Oh, Justin just wants to go lower. Alright, so not much here. I wonder what the status of the stimulus. There we go. Let's see if that even passes. We shall see. Alright, Q's down about 3% now. What's up with MJ? Michael Jordan's worth about $1 billion. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I was saying yesterday, maybe the sector is just too cheap. Yeah, MJ definitely up a little bit. Even over here, we have MJ stocks ACB Tilray towards the top. Tilray up another 25%. Pretty aggressive move right there. And you can see some distribution coming in. Yeah, it's hard to play these names. Like I said, unless you're going to day trade it. I don't know. It's a little difficult to really believe in a sector when the market's just kind of getting its ass kicked. XOTZ, Acron. Procter & Gamble's up. That's about it. Other than Zoom, what we know about that. Come on, I'm trying to get this one. What's a good valuation for Tilray? See, I don't know. We looked yesterday. Someone mentioned lawsuits the other day, and I said I don't know how that affects it. But when you look at their news, it's all about lawsuits. So I'm not sure it was just one lawsuit. It may be many, many lawsuits. I have no idea. Zero idea. Neither does anyone else, which is why it's been tanking for the past year. Yeah, probably. That's probably very valid. I mean, we're just trading charts, so I mean, if you're trading facts, go work at a hedge fund and go have a research team and go pay them to research. But if you're trading charts, just trade charts. If you're trading charts, no need for research. If you're trading research, no need for charts. It's a good way to put it. It's not too bad. Not mad at it. All right, Q's down 3.4 right now. Let's see if we going to keep heading lower. So you've broken that opening range to the downside. Excuse me. Yeah, maybe Justin. We'll see how we handle next couple of days. We are up here a little bit. loosely broken out of this range, but we mentioned for a while now the futures volume has been pretty negative, very, very low down here. And if you look at the Qs, our volume's been diminishing on the way up, so definitely looks like I was thinking about closing some of my TQQQ longs yesterday. Looks like I should have. Big move up into the open or the close. Sometimes what I don't understand when you get, you know, a move like this into the close with this massive kind of volume, is that actually because, you know, you and I are not going to do that. Most people don't buy into the close. It's not like all the retail traders wait until well, in my time 12:58 or 12:50 to start buying all their positions throughout the day. No, it's institutions, and you have this massive institutional volume here. Even both of these, but this one, tremendous up move, and then the next, and then like nothing the following day. Not, at least not. So you're like, okay, why are they buying that? And then is it for a gap down trap? Is it for a gap up trap? Are they just going to keep rallying it? And then you get a day like today. And I'm not quite sure what that is. That short covering? Is that market makers taking profits before the close, or are they covering short positions, which causes the pop? Which is just, you know, when you're covering a short position, it doesn't necessarily mean anything good for the market. It just means you're covering a short position. Hold on a minute. All right. Anyway, so here's the NASDAQ sitting at the lows of the day so far, not really bouncing as of yet. Kind of back down to normalish territory. Tesla under 500. Squares, because we've been following it lately. Dropbox, work. Do I sound weird again? It's my cable. It's half broken, actually. And it's a weird old school cable that I don't have a duplicate of. I don't have, my wife's borrowing my headphones right now, so I don't have my headphones. Let me know if I sound weird. Real ASMR? Really? All right, let me go get my headphones. Damn it. Ooh, fancy, fancy. Shoot SM7B. What's that? I got louder and clear. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, I got to get a new cable for this stupid thing. All right, we'll see how this goes for a minute. All right, so all of our volatility ETFs are going back down, which means volatility is going back up. We got play. Bull flag up here. Royal Caribbean and United Airlines and Dallas back down. Man, the lag on this stream from when I'm talking is about 20 seconds. Now that I'm listening to this thing, I should be on... I'm on ultra low latency. It should have a 5 millisecond time. Oh well. I'm expecting you guys to respond faster, which is, I guess, why I just took off and got my headphones, but... I'm on ultra low latency. Yeah, it's not very... That's pretty bad. I'm going to take my headphones back out. Yeah, you kind of get used to it a little bit. Over the years, you're like, yeah, that's what I sound like. It's okay. I know I sound weird. Okay, so Zoom 7%. Yeah, so sorry, it's still like a 20-second delay in chat. It was down to 5 seconds with that ultra-low latency setting, but for some reason, it's definitely not that right now. All right, Q's bottoming out here a little bit. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy right there. You know, Rob, man, it's so easy to forget about all these stocks. We see so many. It's like a laundry list of stocks that we look at, and it's yeah, it's pretty bad. Sometimes you think about them, sometimes you don't, and then you're like, oh, I remember that one. That was great, you know. It's never what you want it to be. Never. And you always forget about them. And then you always look at them later. Happens all the time. Looks like a little reversal here. And we'll see if and anything of what it leads to. We're kind of, looks like just mimicking the overnight market a little bit here. Yeah, fair enough, Rob. The only problem is our actionable list is not very valid right now, to be honest with you. We're in a market panic situation, and we were looking at the stocks that were valid for the panic situation. So kind of switch watch list a little bit. It happened to coincide with platforms and computers and garbage, but so I'm going down our actual actionable list, like D-Dog. I mean, there's nothing to do with any of these. Any of them. D-Dog all the way back down to IPO lows there. Yeah, we forgot about all of them. And, it's okay. If you cared about a stock, you probably would have actually remembered it. That's kind of what I find is like Tesla being on board of Tesla the whole time. A real winner. Tesla's a real winner. Like here's EVR back down. Look at my weekly chart here. Look at these lows at 40. Going under that, we're still only at 45. So still tremendously good prices for many of these names. CCC, Amazon, we've been following that one. So Domino's Pizza back up, interestingly enough. Yeah, Domino's Pizza did a full round trip into the gap. Remember that big 25% gap that seems like ancient history right now? We came and we filled it. made a new lower high so far. Netflix, PFPT, Ring. Netflix didn't do too bad, actually. Ring got all the way down to 15 before bouncing back over halfway. It's at 21. Massimo. I'm not even sure what that is. Almost all the way back there. AMD doing okay. WGO. There's EVR down at lows again. Come on. We're just recycling here. Nice is okay. Lockheed Martin, oddly enough, I guess a big enough bounce from 265 to 275 to 340, but our high was up there near 450. Atlassian, right back with a quickness up to 150. Snapchat, some reason not bouncing that much. You think Snapchat would be beneficial? Maybe they're just a dead social network. I don't know. I don't do the snappy snaps. JD's, AVGO, way down. AMBA, Micron. Micron Technologies back down to 30 lows of the past several years. Up about 50% from there. AZPN. So, yeah, we're going to have to create a whole new actionable list because not much more is actionable. Roku, they started selling off, remember, after they had a beautiful run. And back down to, looks like about 50-ish, 60, actually. Down to these prior highs. Not bouncing too far to 86. Definitely not getting any kind of a bailout. But doesn't look like they're too interested in it. Sand. Okta. Single sign-on authentication. Provider. Ping. AAXN going back to our lower trend line and bouncing off of that pretty handily. That guy right there. Pretty good. Roku, Fortinet, maker of networking firewalls, actually. Not bad. Sand, Salesforce, Twitter. Man, not coming back. Twitter dropped down, didn't come back very far. Didn't drop very far either. I guess it is a 50% drop from this 40 level into this 20 level. I'm actually looking up here at the weekly chart, but from 40 into the 20, 50% drop there, but the bounce back up to 25, not doing too good right there. I'm not too happy with Twitter. Oh, buddy, Facebook, what are you doing? You're not bouncing back either. They're just taking that opportunity to sell that. Really, Tilray's still going? Yes, this is up 20% on my chart there. Transport's getting obliterated. Of course, the whole market got obliterated. Starbucks back down to the really big long base. So maybe we'll get a revisit that run at some point. Skyworks back down to multi-year lows at about the $70 level. Bounced up to 87 isn't too bad. BEP, this was our big utility. Remember, this thing just started rocking. Look where it came back down to. Basically around these prior yearly highs, and then now we're up here at about the $40 level. This thing right now has about a 6% dividend yield. Not too bad. Noted yesterday, Winnebago came all the way back down to yearly lows from long time ago at 20. It's going to be a little bit before they get going again, too. BLD, not sure what BLD is, but they're down. Crocs. Woo! Crocs got decimated. 40 down to 10. That's an 80% haircut, 75% haircut. Over 40. So, yeah, probably about an 80, 85% haircut on Crocs right there. Crocs' big bull run right there. I remember that. That was a good one. And then there was a secondary kind of a comeback run that I didn't pay any attention to. And another one I didn't pay any attention to. All right, INMD lower. SIVB Polaris. No one's buying snow. What are they called? Not like jet skis for snow. Snowmobiles. iRobot pays. Kiwi firmly lower. Space, like I mentioned, all the way back down to 10 the other day. Looks like we're pulling into 15 a little bit here. Could be an opportunity, but a long way to go before those are viable at all in terms of space-bearing vehicles and actually taking people to space. They're not quite there yet. Las Vegas Sands, multi-year lows going back to 2015. Oh, that's it. So really not, I mean, a few on the actionable list, but is it the lowest it's ever been? Let's do it. 12 cents. That's a bargain. Oh, that's the low. It's a 17 cents. You guys can buy a Starbucks cup of coffee or 8,000 shares of Chesapeake Energy. I don't know what to make of this freaking company. This thing used to be the shiznit. Like, seriously. This thing used to be a big deal. I think I was back when natural gas was something, and now it's not at all. Yeah, I think they're cycling out of car companies generally. I don't know what it is. Even from the year 2000, look at that. Here's the weekly chart. Just a slow roll down. I mean, here's the bear market where Ford was at $1, but it didn't have to fall very far, at least according to the chart. We were already down about 50%. Yeah, I think the RV market, well, that's Winnebago. We looked at that already, and that one's that one's not very good. And then here you got Ford all the way back down to $5. I don't know, not that Tesla's taken over the entire auto market segment, but they may. Maybe Tesla's going to be half of U.S. auto sales. Who the hell knows? But the Tesla chart looking the opposite. Winnebago competitors. I don't know of any Winnebago competitors. Oh, it's WB, isn't it? Nope, that'd be Weibo. WBG? Where is it? I'm looking for it. I can't find it. Winnebago. Oh, it is WGO. How come it told me it didn't exist? That was weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about too many competitors to Winnebago. I know they're the largest in the space. I mean, that's for sure. They're definitely one of the larger ones in the space. For them to get hammered that hard. Keep in mind, a Winnebago is definitely a luxury purchase. Definitely a luxury purchase. And I guess they were just anticipating everyone pausing everything, which makes sense to me. I'm not in a super rush to get into a Winnebago. Fleetwood, are they publicly traded? Oh, that's true. They should have gone up because everyone's buying RVs, so they don't have to deal with other people. It makes sense. If I type in Fleetwood, it's going to come up with Fleetwood Mac. See? Fleetwood RV, they may not even be public. If a company is public, here's a good way to know is look for an investors. Look for an investors link in the footer. Doesn't look like they're public. It just seems to be like a normal thing that everyone does is REV Group. Maybe. Why do I have this big ass thing in my face when I'm looking at your stupid website? Hey, what's up, Sratmer? All right, come on. Tell us about yourself. Oh, never mind. I got to look here. About Rev Group. Maybe these guys are publicly traded. You can look for REV. Sounds like a... Doesn't mention anything about investors or being publicly traded. Rev is Revlon. Yeah, I wish the prices would drop a little bit more, at least on the public side. I mean, they're not. They're just taking it out of our butts is all they're doing. Wow, AVP up 1,100%. That's a reverse split. So oil down 5% today. Woo. Yeah, mentioned yesterday, lack of bounces probably leading to lower prices. You can see here as well, just lack of bounces in the extreme downtrend. Every bounce was just minimal. And here, same thing in this pattern. So it looks like we are headed for lower oil prices. I'm not sure how low oil can go. Like you go to the monthly, we're down at near all-time low oil prices. You got down here in 99 at about $10, but other than that, like seriously, what are they gonna do with $10 oil? I'm just gonna end up drinking it. $10 for a barrel of oil. I'm just gonna go buy an effing barrel of oil. I'm not even gonna go to the gas station. I don't want to keep a $60 barrel of oil sitting at my house, but a $10 barrel of oil, give me a few. Let's get some barrels, and there'll be YouTube videos on how to refine your own oil. Here, let's just Google it right now. How to refine your own oil. Bam, right there. Can you refine oil at home? Oh, there's already a YouTube video. Is he speaking English? Okay, that's just too much. Yes, it's become the new oil magnates. Absolutely. Is he speaking English? All right, guys. We're going to make our own oil. That's the new thing. Making our own oil. I think the delivery of that barrel of oil. Like, how many gallons are in a barrel of oil? 55 gallons? It's a 55-gallon drum. Oh, 42 it looks like. So 42 gallons of oil. I wonder how much of that we could actually use as gasoline. I'm on some very weird trip right now, I realize that. So if that's 20 gallons of gasoline, that means you're filling your tank for $10, ladies and gentlemen, minus the $70,000 cost of all the equipment to refine that oil. Guys, we're going to be winners. They can't keep us down. We'll take your $10 oil and we'll keep it. We're going to win, guys. We're going to win. All right, so it looks like the market off the lows of the day today. We mentioned on the daily chart how so far this is just an inside day. Inside days are fine. I don't mind an inside day at all. With the diesel byproduct, Rob? Well, I'm going to go sell diesel. What do you mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to sell diesel and kerosene. I'm going to rip all the light bulbs out of my house and put candles back in. It's great. Yeah. Maybe I'll make some hooch. Biggest hooch distiller this side of the Mississippi. If anyone uses that term anymore. Exactly. Free gas. Cost me $70,000 for the machinery to do it, but I'll have free gas. Makes sense. Royal Caribbean, 13%. Play down 6%. Okay, so yeah, I would use some of these little dips to maybe nibble even less at some longs. I don't know. I loosely have the feeling, and I talked about this, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, that I think this could be the bottom in the market, and I think we could just slowly roll out of it. That's my feeling right now. I may get bit by that, but Leon Cooperman is betting on energy stocks with an out-of-consensus trade. Ooh, let's look at that. I don't even know who Leon Cooperman is. Who is this dude? He's betting big on big oil. Best cure for low oil prices is low oil prices. I don't know what that means. Oh, at these prices, a lot of companies will go out of business and the supply demand will tighten up. Except you're missing the fact that Saudi Arabia is pushing him lower. Wow, the whole sector shed 49% this year. That's crazy. A fraction of the underlying asset value. Well, then just buy them and sell them then. These optimistic stocks have bottomed if I'm right on the virus call. If I'm right, and that's a big if, I think the market at the recent low is close enough to the bottom to be called the bottom. Yeah, I don't really disagree with him on that one personally. Whoever the hell Leon Cooperman is. Let's Google this dude. Investor hedge fund manager, Omega Advisors, 3.3 billion in assets. It's just some dude trading his own money. It's going to go bankrupt soon. Like, how do they find out about these people? I mean, 3.3 billion, that's a good amount of money, but it ain't that much money. Oh, it used to be Goldman Sachs. I don't know if it's going to get that way, Justin. Maybe I'm just, like I said, maybe I'm just too optimistic. I don't know, but the death rate is not that great. I don't know if they're just going to keep the country closed for a bad flu. I mean, they're doing it, and we're seeing the results of that. And I'm not debating that. I'm just debating a much longer continuation for something that, in all reality, isn't really that bad. And all the data that comes out more and more suggests that more and more. Now, we do have cases of it, but it's like just a bad flu. It really is what it is. So I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, Trump says lots of things. I mean, he is right, though. People do want to get back to work. They don't want to be stuck at home. Although I will say this is the best for like community building. It's just to keep everyone in your neighborhoods. I think we should just live like this all the time. Instead of me going to people, just bring the people to me. Bring them over to me. Yeah, Italy's 9% fatality rate. I think it probably just spread through the older community faster. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but no other country, I think, has that kind of mortality rate. COVID mortality rate. Let's see if we can do it by nation. Yeah, and they say in Arizona now we're in the worst of it. Oh, here we go. Case fatality. Bangladesh, San Marino, Italy 10%, Iraq 9%, Indonesia, Philippines, UK is at 4.84%. That seems very high. USA is at 1.5% right now. Yeah, no, I get that, Stratwer. I'm not really discounting that, to be honest with you, but I'm just thinking prolonged. Like I'm thinking market wise, guys. I'm just thinking of the stock market. The market sees the data. The market knows what's going on here, right? Market knows what's going on. Look, if we start undercutting on heavy volume, I'm flipping my position relatively quick. If we start turning on heavier volume, but so far, we've held these lows pretty well right there, even though it's fairly low volume. The 3.3 million jobs obviously baked in. We didn't really react to that. No issue there. No issue there. But yeah, Justin, the question is how much is priced into the market? How much exactly? But my thinking is that the federal government, at least in the U.S., is going to come out with their stimulus whenever that comes out. And the more I hear about the stimulus, the more I think it's needed for some people. But I don't know. I just don't like the general plan. I'm getting more old by the minute, it seems. But the market's baked in a lot of data already. A 30% drop in the Dow this quick is very unprecedented. They've already priced in, shut down for probably, like I said, a month and a half. Like I said yesterday, you start getting quarantine past like 4 to 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, and the market is going to take a little bit more risk off the table. But I think at this stage of the game, we're already down here. So going sideways, I think, is fine for the market. And then if they start opening things up and all that stuff, then I think we'll be good to go. So just from a strictly market perspective, I'm not referring to how to contain a coronavirus. That's not the conversation I'm having. I mean, how to contain a coronavirus is just shut everything down, period. Just shut it all down. Have everyone stay home for 3 weeks across the country. Everyone right now, put in your orders for the grocery store for the next 3 weeks, or your weekly order, we'll deliver it to you. I mean, that's the way to do it. But in terms of investing, yeah, Rob says Boeing's never getting back to that low. I agree with that. Play never getting back to the low. Maybe. That's not a very big cup. They're not going to bail that company out. Yeah, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting trading going forward here, for sure. Tilray up 27. Man, I wonder if they just cured cancer and made marijuana legal at the same time. We have 2 announcements today. Marijuana is legal across the country, and we're the only people allowed to sell it, and we've cured all of cancer. But Stratwer, that's not a market problem. That's not a market problem. Okay. Bye. MJ cures the virus. Oh, I didn't think about that. MJ could cure the virus. Yeah. Sometimes you're just not thinking straight. Thanks for straightening me out there. All right, so market down 3%. We've been kind of bouncing around today. Let's see if we're back down. All right, looks like we are back down. Didn't quite reach the high of the day, so that's not looking very good. We'll see how we're going to handle these lows down here. You can see we did have some bottom buying right about there. About that 185 level. We'll see if it continues or not. We got, looks like about 30 seconds left in this candle. And our volume isn't very big. So we'll see how it goes. It's a pretty big candle, though. So yeah, I mean those businesses will be affected. I definitely agree with that, Trevor. It's just at least in the U.S. because keep in mind, I mean this is the U.S. market, so it's just the U.S. market. So all I can do is go by what's going on in the U.S. It's interesting to see. I mean the story in India right there with them closing the whole damn country down. I that's crazy. It's pretty cool from an experiment, from a scientific perspective. It's pretty interesting, but generally it's yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. Short the India market, I think it's probably already down. Now, so from a bullish perspective, so let's talk bullish perspective, bearish perspective. Bullish perspective is that the market's discounted in about a month of economic stoppage, right? About a month of economic stoppage. If that happens and we get back to normal, we'll be okay. If that gets prolonged, so that's the bullish perspective. Bullish perspective, technically, right here, from a volume perspective, it's not that great, to be honest with you, from a bullish perspective on a technical side. So at least on this particular chart, each chart's going to be a little bit different. Now you do have declining volume in this bounce, which does not generally bode well for rallies to be on declining volume, which is why you want to see a follow-through day. And again, a follow-through day is the market being up a good percentage of volume a good percentage, market up a good percentage, about 1%. I've seen follow-through days like 0.9%. Generally between 1 and 1.5%, and then volume elevated over the previous day. With these declining volumes and this little uptrend, we're primed for a follow-through day. Now, volume on indexes aren't necessarily as important as volume on individual stocks. You got to keep that in mind too. So this declining volume here on this rise, I think that is more bearish than what we would like to see. We'd like to see increasing volume on the way up, but we generally don't get it if you look at prior market bottoms. Usually you don't see, so like right here on this right side, you don't see increasing volumes. You see right here we had a nice decline the first couple of days, very similar to what we have now. And then we went low, and then boom, we were able to have our follow-through day, which was right there, and then get on with it. But you can see that happens in lower volume. The high volume comes on the way down, oddly enough. It's kind of a counterintuitive move to what we usually think about. And then if we get back over here, you can see, again, declining volumes here, basically implying, I guess, that volatility dries up. I don't know where the money goes if it flips at the bottom like that and it's just churning and institutions are changing hands. I'm not sure the mechanics of how that works. But again, we're primed for a follow-through day in this area. I doubt it's going to happen today with the market down 3%, but in another day or two, we could float lower, have lower volumes, and we're really primed for a follow-through day. We could have one tomorrow if the market stagnates around here and doesn't go lower the rest of the day, and we have really low volumes. Then we can have that high volume day with the markets. So that's the bullish scenario. The bearish scenario is obviously another shoe dropping in the markets, and then us undercutting and continuing to see high volume to the downside. That I think is going to be. I think that's going to be the impetus. Now, unfortunately, it may happen overnight. It may just be a gap similar to what's happened already, So, I mean, your bullish scenario, I think, is right now is that the market has everything priced in. COVID's going to be a short-term thing, and we're going to bounce right back. That's your short-term scenario. Longer-term scenario is that they've got, one leg priced into COVID. We're going to get a second and a third leg, and the market sees accelerated selling. I think that's what it is. Would it be bullish if we stayed inside today? Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. If we can keep an inside day today, I think that would keep the bull market rally alive. That being said, I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter if we undercut, to be honest. It really doesn't. Tight action would be better. But we haven't really seen a lot of tight action lately. This was a big gap day, so that's not tight action. This would be probably our first inside day. This is loosely an inside day. Yeah, very loose. This is an inside day, but the range is very wide. None of these are inside days other than that. Outside. So this would be the first inside day we've had in quite a while. This is our last inside day. and we gapped down there. So it's hard to say exactly, but we obviously weren't bottoming. We were just starting the drop over here. So if we had an inside day, I think that'd be much more bullish than it would be bearish. Absolutely. But it doesn't have to keep an inside day for this to still, have a good follow-through day potential. Don't get caught up in labels necessarily. I think it's about action. If we exceed the lows by a little bit and then come back, our range so far today is very small and very unlike what we've seen lately. Our percentage drop is big, 3%, but that's because we closed really high yesterday. So again, if we stay elevated like this, an inside day is going to happen, and I think that bodes well. If we have declining volume, we're primed for follow through. Does it matter today that it's Friday? Is it Friday? Man, I have no idea what day it is. Maybe people don't want to hold positions over the weekend. And I think you saw that last Friday, right here, this massive drop at the end of the day was people not wanting to hold positions into the weekend. It could come into effect. We'll just have to wait and see what the market holds. But if we don't see a sell-off at the end of the day on a Friday, you could loosely argue that's somewhat bullish because, if people are kind of less risk averse. Now, keep in mind, the news that came out of last weekend I don't think was all that bad. And we had a small undercut and rally right there on the general stock market. And then we've had this rally for this whole week, essentially. So, all in all, on balance, I'd say we're good. I'd say we're good. My personal feeling, again, and Stratwer's been debating me, and I appreciate that. I definitely like the other side to my opinions for sure. I don't know. I think it's going to be a one-leg virus. We've never seen anything like this before. Nothing that is, I don't know, whatever it is. We've never seen anything like this before. We've been closing down countries. It's pretty crazy. And hopefully it's just a test run for maybe we'll have something worse in a couple of years, in 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. Who the hell knows? But, after this, you bet your ass that a lot more countries are going to be investing a lot more into this being ready for a pandemic type of a situation because, nobody wants to go through this again. I thought it was kind of neat, to be honest with you. I didn't have anyone really affected or die, as hopefully none of you did, but the governments are going to get a little more prepared. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. This is kind of just one of those things, hopefully. But if we have another leg lower, and we do get another shoe to drop, then, again, I'll flip my position really quickly. Asia stockbrokers swamped as retail investors dive in, bet on post-virus bounce. Where's that at, Rob? Buy the dip, search as peak on Google. Oh, interesting. Maybe that does bode well for a leg lower. Fidelity News article. Wait for the signal. Ooh, there's a... What signal is this guy going to talk about? My general rule of thumb has been pretty consistent. If you're going to start buying on a dip, you need to wait until you get 2 good solid up days. Okay, that's not too bad, actually. Not too mad at that. 2 good solid up days in a row, maybe? You've been doing some fun with statistics with a friend and been following some virologists. Now I'm kind of worried and doubtful. Wondering if you'll make bad decisions, the fear gets to you harder later. Yeah, this is pretty old, Rob. Well, on March 3rd, that was pretty good advice, actually. I mean, there's March 3rd. So his two good updates would probably be coming into account right now. You never know. All right, Eli, you out of here, buddy? All right, take it easy. Go binge watch something. All right, let's go see what's going on with the markets. Check it out again. Tesla's still sitting at 5 hundo. Right there. Square, Dropbox back down. Zoom selling off just a little bit. Qs are 3.3. We'll see if we're gonna hold or not. That's gonna be a story throughout the day. Thousands dying per day in the U.S. is priced in. Yeah, I think so. I think one leg. I think the virus. We're just talking about this Adventurers Way. If you were listening about 10 minutes ago or so, the market doesn't care about deaths. It sounds callous, and maybe it is, but think about it. If you're in a building in the middle of New York, and now I know a lot of trading is done algorithmically, through computers and such these days, but think about it. If you're a trader sitting in New York and you're doing this, you're not looking at the amount of deaths per day. You're looking at how this is affecting other stocks, how other market participants are dealing with it, because this is a very competitive market. The stock market's probably the most highly competitive market in the world, to be honest with you. They're not worried about outside things like deaths, unfortunately. If Warren Buffett passes away, the market will take a little bit of a hit, but they'll move on in about 12 minutes. And Warren Buffett's one of the more beloved figures in Wall Street, period. Like, I don't know if anything happened when J.P. Morgan died, but he basically, he was a market stabilizing factor for a very, very long time. But anyway, yeah, I think the market has one shutdown, one virus leg. If somehow the virus mutates or something, I could see that probably being one of the only major shoes to drop. I don't think things are going to be closed for that long. Maybe another 2 weeks. My school for my kids are going back on April 10th in 2 weeks. So maybe past April 10th, if we're going to start extending closures, that could be a different situation. But until we have those announcements, and I think the market is in a decent spot, again, layering into positions, not going all in on the market, but leveling into, we've been talking about leveling into TQQQ since we were down in here. But, not jumping all in. If people were waiting for a pullback, well, they got it and then some. We're 50% monthly jump in new accounts. Wow. That seems odd. That seems very strange to me. Well, no, I guess it doesn't. 50% monthly jump in new accounts. Maybe people that got out of the market years ago are looking to jump back in. Because you have to imagine monthly new accounts is probably fairly stable, so a jump, still a little bit weird. Deaths don't mean much for sure. If the public panics, movers will likely just take advantage of the fear. The only thing to me that matters is that businesses are affected in a real way. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, the market isn't traded on human deaths and human births. It's, traded by monetary stuff. It just is what it is. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. If you have stockbrokers worried about people dying all the time, they just be crying on the floor. Is that how you want your stock market to work? You just want, people are dying, go cry. You better go cry right now. Go cry, go to your safe space. It's not supposed to function that way, and it doesn't function that way. And I think that's a good thing. The market performs its function. Doctors shouldn't be worried about you know, which I think why this whole opioid thing in the U.S. is kind of nuts. Doctors shouldn't be worried about making money. They shouldn't be. I mean, they make a good salary. They need to maximize their salary when they're negotiating their salary and their pay rates and stuff like that. But they should be worried about the patient's health. They shouldn't be worried about all these other deciding factors while they're doctoring. When my doctor's doctoring, I want them doctoring. I don't want them worried about making money. I don't want them giving me stock tips. I mean, I'll accept a stock tip from anyone. Doesn't mean I'll do anything with it, but I'll listen. But I don't want my doctor doing stocks. I don't want my stock guy doctoring. So I don't think it's callous. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. At the same time, I don't want my Walmart manager and my Home Depot manager crying because there's so many. Now, if one of their employees dies and they get emotional, absolutely, you're a human being. But I'm in Phoenix. If all of a sudden we get 10,000 deaths in Phoenix, which would be massive, absolutely massive. Yeah, he'll probably be a little emotional. He'll probably know someone that affects him. But I need him worried on his job about restocking his fucking plywood. Damn it, people want plywood. And he needs to be worried about getting plywood back in the Home Depot, not crying in the corner because 10,000 people in Phoenix died. So, one case in Havasupai, you mean Havasupai? That's at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. How the hell did it get there? Havasupai. Whoops. Minus the V. I think I spelled it right. Oh, Havasu City? Oh, okay. I was going to Google COVID case in Havasupai, and that would... Yeah, Lake Havasu City. Oh, it's already in Maricopa County. Let's see. I want a map. See, they never show me a map of my city. I want a map with like Google dots on it. I want to know where the hell these people are so I can not go there. Yeah, I don't know. Maricopa County. Here we go. Statewide counts. Oh, we were just there. Oh, here we go. 0 to 17, 1%. 35, 33, 30. 19% of the cases are hospitalized. 1% death so far in Arizona. Yeah, they've got everything shut down in Arizona here. Isn't that beautiful? Arizona, just great. Where is that? Usually I know where all these pictures come from. I'm not so sure about this one. That's a golf course. Could be Desert Mountain, but they don't have this kind of formation up that high. Interesting. I don't know where that is. I wonder what there's a name for that? Oh, you're going to go all... See if they have the name in the file or something. Image. Here we go. Nope, no name. Just image repository. Anyway. Alright, apparently I'm going to die. It's in Havasu City. Yeah. Tesla's at 500. That's pretty good. Oh, right-click, search for image. Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't think about that. Reopen and close tab. Is that a thing? Search for image? I can save, but that's not going to be that's going to be the whole web page. Yeah, c.html. I don't know. No, I guess I could try to do this. Oh, I think I have to save it. You never know what you get here at real stocks ever. Sure, Untitled works. Can I just paste? Nope. What is that? Do the 5? Stop the coronavirus. Search by image. Upload image. Where's my images? All right, come on. I actually really am curious where the hell this is. Just give me sunset. You suck. Oh, well. Oh, well. I guess we'll never know. All right. Works up a little bit. Looks like it's flat. Royal Caribbean down 16%. So here could be the reprieve in some of these names at least. Boeing down 10%. That's not too bad. Again, we talked a couple days ago, if we could hold up here and go sideways for a little bit, I think that would be super for most of these names. That would be really, really good. Market included, actually, if the market can go sideways from here. Doesn't Royal Caribbean have a lot of gaps? Oh, yes, just has one gap. Yeah, maybe a gap fills down to 30. That could be an opportunity. Some of these numbers are really big. So, again, looking, bigger picture. Looking bigger picture, you really want to get some good fills on some of these. There was some really nice bounces right there. Could be short covering. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like it's probably just some institutional buying. Institutions have, years worth horizon. So if they bought down here at 24 and the 24 level on Royal Caribbean, they don't mind getting their return 5 years from now. It's a job to these people. This is their job. They don't trade based off emotions like we do. And that's the hardest part to our job is we don't have that 5-year horizon. You think you do, but you don't. You actually do not. I don't even really have that 5-year time horizon. Otherwise, I would have just bought the freaking TQQQs and walked away. I just bought them right down here somewhere. Loaded up at 37, waited for my 230%, and then, gone about my business. Actually, this is my business talking to you guys, so that is what that is. But yeah, I mean, you're looking for advantages all over the place. But when you get those big, large institutions, they're going to take those UALs, those BAs, Delta Airlines. They're going to take all these names, and they're just going to buy them super cheap, regardless of the situation. Even if it goes a little bit lower, keep in mind, those people are probably still holding stocks that are negative. They'll hold a stock that's negative 30, 40, 50%. It's just their job. That's just their job description is to basically, position themselves the best that they can. And when they build massive positions, they can exit pretty good. Yeah, thanks, Rob. I do my little bit to try to help people, It's hard to know all this stuff. Hard to know all this stuff. Thank you. What's up with the volume on that day? Is that Sunday? That's Friday. That's weird. Volume glitch there on TradingView. So, all right, guys. I think I'm going to bounce and get out of here. If we could... His bot QQQ will see you in 10 years. Yeah, right, Justin? That's... just kind of the way that these people behave, these institutions. So when you see that big buying and you wonder what it's about, and you wonder, because I wonder about these volume signatures and what they mean, and is it short covering, is it not? Like you look at GM here, you got a big capitulation right there. That's someone scooping up some shares, but then it'll go lower, and maybe you won't see the same volume height. They're just holding on to some stuff. Keep on keeping on. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you enjoy your day today. Yeah, let's see what the market does. There's still a long way to go today. We've only been here about an hour and 15 minutes, and so still an inside day, still a very narrow range day as well, which I would argue is pretty good. If we're not selling off, then I'm doing okay. Volume even on this 2-hour chart, you can see been generally diminishing. So we're not in a rush to sell quite yet. Maybe the rush will come back in, and I might flip my position from loosely bullish to bearish again if we get that elevated selling volume. But kind of back down towards normal volumes here, and for the past several days, 1, 2, 3, arguably 4 days, we've had these lower volumes step in here, and so if the market's gonna be okay, then I'm gonna be okay too, and I'm not gonna panic, and I'm gonna keep those early positions I've got, and then be looking to add on a follow-through day, and then we'll see what happens after that, and if there's any more legs to drop. But a very interesting situation. You guys are very fortunate that you've chosen to take an interest in trading and that you got to experience this. I do want you to fully experience this and meditate on it. Seriously. I mean, take it in. Think about the news events. We talk about journaling not that often, but I do more in the Crypto Power Hour. But it's a journaling opportunity. What did you think on the way down? If you have specific thoughts, if you want to go back and go to my channel and rewatch the videos, then you can do that, and you can say, okay, I remember what I was thinking when Randy said this. I remember when Randy said that. And if we have another leg lower, let's revisit the past couple of days and journal on that too, and wonder what we got wrong. Maybe what we missed is this is a low volume bounce, but then I would also argue, if you go back to other bear markets, I think the market's forward looking. They anticipated a leg. If they see another leg, then they'll get aggressive to the downside again. But the market does have an upside bias, and I also try to keep that upside bias as well. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Have a good day. I will see you tomorrow. No, I won't. It's Friday. I won't see you tomorrow. I'll see you guys in 3 days or later in the Crypto Power Hour. All right, guys. Peace.